What's going on, YouTube? It's Drew Lefty NDV10. I have three really special cards to show off today, but I figured this would be a great time to break out my entire kind of pre-war misprint slash oddities. They made a lot of mistakes with printing. Usually it's some pretty simple stuff, but with the pre-war, a lot of it either got scrapped or thrown away. But there's some real freaks out there, and I love to come across that. People pay big money for this stuff, and so I'm not one of those people. I like to find it kind of in the wild. So here's some examples of sort of like a lower end. It's just a shift registration that's kind of really dramatic. I've got another one in here that I'll show you that's way worse. So this really wouldn't bring any big premium. It's just kind of kind of a entry level. Anytime you got a lot of print shift, you can see the yellow layer underneath the red there. Whole different story about people saying that there's missing red cards. But here's another one that's a little bit more distinct. Hey, Callie. My little kiddo is playing the obstacle course in the background. So this is what the card's supposed to look like. Here's one with a really cool registration shift. You can see the black and white there on the side. So really cool. Again, probably wouldn't bring a big premium, but just something odd that I like to have. This is a pretty common card to, or a pretty common error. This is what I would refer to as a wet sheet transfer. Some people will like improperly misidentify this as like a ghost. It is. I mean, you can see his pretty much whole image. I got this for a steal at the National 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever it was. This would bring a pretty big premium, but this isn't a true ghost. This is just a wet sheet transfer where card got wet after they printed it. They stacked them on top of each other, and you end up with that. So I've got a couple ghost prints, thankfully, and I'll show those off in a bit. This one's pretty cool. The front, completely fine as far as the printing goes. The back, miscut. The more miscut the back, obviously the more desirable it would be. This one's got quite a bit of the next Piedmont sheet, and I just find it interesting that the front of this card is completely centered, whereas the back sheet, when they did the printing, just got whacked all up. So pretty cool card there. This is an example of a way more dramatic layer shift. You can see there the yellow layer was just completely shifted up and to the left, overset the blue. And you can either see the bottom layer card coming up. I paid a pretty penny for this. I paid over $300 for this, and worth every bit of it. You can almost see a blue ghost. If that had been a full image there, that would have been incredible. If that layer would have shifted up. So, but this is a really cool card. I love this thing from my Mike Donlin collection. Love that. Really cool. Getting into some good stuff here before I even show the two cards. I've shown most of these on video. This is a true ghost. And what that is the layer itself printed over the same card. So this is Groom. Obviously you can see it's the same card. We determined that this card that's also showing is part of Ambrose Putman. So just a really cool card. These go for big money. They're also really interesting because it tells us a lot about who was printed beside each other on the sheets. And so this is a true ghost, as they would say. Sorry guys, I'm still like pretty sick. Really cool. Love to have that. Love that. I stole this on eBay for like $170. I don't know what it would be worth. I know somebody would pay $500-600 for it right now in a heartbeat. Probably multiple people, but don't want to sell it. Really cool card. Love that. These are very tough. I picked this up a couple years ago. I would say that everything you've seen there, this is kind of like really rare. This is like uber rare, and I've got another one of these in today's in my new pickup. So you see back miscuts where multiple backs are showing on a card. Not often, but about 100 times more than you see front miscuts. And I paid basically what a 1 goes for this card, which was an absolute steal. There was a little turd in the comments trying to haggle with the guy. I just paid him full ask, full send right away, sold. Because go to Heritage, look up front miscut T206s, double fronts. They sell for just crazy money. And to have a Hall of Famer, Cy Young, I love this. This one, you can see, when they were cutting this sheet, they just completely cut wrong. So it's not like the front is miscut, the back is fine. No, it's pretty even. There's the bottom part, or the top part of the bottom card on the sheet. Obviously, you can see there. Really cool. Probably another Cy Young down there. Love it. Absolutely love this thing. It's incredible. This is an uber rare card because there's only like a limited number of players that you can get in this. You'll hear yellow-brown scrap thrown out a lot for some cards. These are the true yellow-brown scraps. It is a subsection of the 350 to 460 subjects. They're typically not found in a factory 30, only on the yellow-brown scraps. So there's a whole entire sheet of 460 series subjects who are not found in the 460 factory 30 back unless it's one of these yellow-brown scraps. I think there's like 32 of them or something that they found. There's 2 Gabby Streets. The other big Gabby Street collector has the other one. Funny story about these, if you ever see some of these out there, these with this water damage on it, they actually survived a card shop fire. But this is a true freak. Whoever ran this sheet through is either testing it or they didn't have all the plans to run the whole layers of the ink through, and it probably just got taken home, cut up, given away to his kids, or whatever the case may be. So it's an absolute miracle that these survived. I know Max has 2 Doyles, which is nuts. Hey, baby. Yeah. Let's take a brief moment to open up a makeup pack. Here we go. Boom. Play makeup there. There we go.
Thank you, Dada.
You're welcome, baby. But yeah, really cool. I'm so thankful to have this. I got this for a steal. But look at the start of COVID. Blank backs. I don't have a blank back T206, but I do have a blank back T207. These are a little more common. There's like 1 to 2 per player, but it's really cool. You don't see a lot of blank backs, authentic blank backs. A lot of the blank backs you see are skinned. This is a true hand-cut blank back. Now, into the 2 big cards. First up, we got Bill Otte, really tough Southern Leaguer. And as you can see down there, we got a small but very noticeable part of a bottom or the top of the card of the one under it. So this is the second one of these I have. This was in a scrapbook of some time, you can tell. Nothing on the, it wasn't miscut enough to have part of the Piedmont frame showing on the bottom, but still, this is incredibly cool. I talked to another big Oddities collector, and he said he's never seen a Southern Leaguer miscut like this, so I was really happy to add that. Very cool. You don't get a chance at these, and I am not in the tax bracket to be winning these when they come up for auction, so I have to really act quick if I see something like this for sale. But yeah, I'm really stoked to have this. Love it. And then this is a special card. This is a true, what they would call a true cylinder transfer. So not a wet sheet transfer where a card was just, the ink was wet and it transferred over onto the back. This is Joe Birmingham. But what makes this card special is that it got the brown ink layer pass on the back of this card. So you can see there, obviously, Birmingham, Cleveland. There's the outline of his head, his belt, and his glove, which, even with the paper loss, oddly enough, it got 90%. It's only missing a little sliver of his collar there of the brown. So basically the brown layer that they used to print the name and anything brown on the card, that got, at some point, they ran a sheet through with the brown layer on the back. And a lot of times I don't see, actually I don't know that I've, maybe one other time have I ever seen a true cylinder ghost print on the back of a card with the back. Most of them are blank back that I've seen, like 90%. So I was really stoked to get this. Thanks, Lee, for giving me a chance at this. I love this thing. Probably never will have a chance to get another one. So that's it, guys. I hope I nerded you out enough in this video. I hope you learned a few things about T206 print oddities. If you got anything cool and you want to sell it, I would love to know. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Peace out.